Welcome to destruction animation. It's focusing on engulfing. And so you can make an animation where something is destroyed. This one is engulfed in flames and gets destroyed that way and turns to nothing. And this example is made on Pascal, but you can use the app that you like the best. And you can think of destruction in many ways. You could think of it as cracking and breaking something. It also could be melting or turn to dust. We're going to start this project in Pascal and we're going to make the background first. So I'm going to pick a dark blue, a navy blue, then I'm going to grab the old paint bucket and drop that in there. I'm going to make a new layer and then I'm going to make the picture frame first. So I'm going to grab the rectangle, I'm going to get a gold color, and I'm going to create a rectangle for the painting to be in, which is going to look like a frame. And I'm justifying the frame a little lower so that the flames can creep up and be above the frame. Now, I'm going to need to make the person that's sitting for the portrait, and you can start wherever, the clothes, the face, the hair, whatever you want. And I'm going to use the circle tool to draw the face shape, and then I'm going to add a little bit of neck down here. Make the brush size a little smaller so I can get in some details. And after I'm done this part, I'm going to work on the shoulders and the body a little bit and make some shoulders. I think I want to make it look a little bit like a soldier. And so I'm going to do a uniform and do some epaulets on the shoulders and maybe some awards and some medals on the chest portion. The drawing takes a little time, so let's crunch it down just to a few seconds. So just going to add those details. It takes a little time to develop, which is totally fine. And then now that we've got it all built, what I'll do is I'll grab a flame color. And this is where we start actually animating. So I'm going to click on the duplicate button rather than a new frame. I'm going to duplicate the first slide just a few times. We got 5 ones just for some cushion. So it allows viewers to see what I'm showing them first. And then the animation starts a little bit. I am painting the flame on just a little bit. So the fire is starting just with tiny little pieces. And then what we'll do is we'll just add on to this. And so that's kind of the shortcut. You don't have to keep redrawing the flames. You'll be able to just add. Each time we duplicate the frame, then we go over here, we make the flames a little bigger. So what's nice about digital animation is that you don't have to draw everything over and over again. You are able just to use what you've made and then bring just more to it as we go. And then by the end, we'll end up erasing and making everything small and tiny into nothing. So let's speed this up again. It's just all about duplicating, adding some flames, duplicating, adding some flames. And so as we go, you can be looking in the top right corner. This is one thing Pascal is so great for, is this up to the second preview. So you can see exactly how this thing looks at any point. Every change is registering there and you can watch it. Now, I'm going to choose the rectangle tool because I've got everything fully engulfed. I'm going to click and drag this over everything and just hit delete. It's the fastest way to delete the whole page. Because now what I want to do is I want to grab a brush and I want to make the fire smaller, so it needs to shrink down to nothing. So instead of trying to, erase the edges, it's actually faster to just draw an orange blob that's smaller than the one we have right now, and then make a new frame. So instead of duplicating, we're just making a new frame, and we're making another orange blob that's a little bit smaller, and you're going to guess what this process is like. And it's much easier because it's a pretty indistinct blob. And all that really needs to happen is that the orange blob gets smaller each time and stays in the middle. Now the blob is so small that I need to get a different size brush, and I'm going to continue to make it smaller. I'm very close to the end. For the audience, it's really great if you have some cushion at the end, and what that means is just some emptiness. So I'm just going to make some new frames, some new empty frames at the end so that the viewer has a cushion and can understand what they're seeing, because if you don't give them any time, it's really tough to understand what's going on visually. So it's about staging. Here's another cool thing that you can do with Pascal. With this little preview, if you think you have everything, it looks good, you can click here and you can see this little tab pops off and you can make this big so you can see what this animation is going to look like, much bigger than the preview, which is very small. And you can adjust the frame rate here, you can bring it down, you can bring it up, so whatever looks the best for your animation. And the big preview is going to show you exactly what it's going to look like as a finished project. So it's nice to look at that before you are ready to submit. Now I think everything looks good, so I'm going to hit export. And you want to adjust some settings here. So the very top, the scale is going to start down at 1, which is a tiny little GIF. And you don't want that. You want to make sure it's up near half. When you click download GIF right here, it's going to save it to your downloads. And you can preview it once again, one final time in your browser tab. And it shows you exactly what it's looking like and the frame rate and everything's done. So good luck with your animation.